Hi everyone, it's Quick here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm making this video to respond to a video I saw yesterday and how I am starting to like to go into low magic. Now the commentator in the video was saying that because of a DM or whoever runs the game has such a broad palette to express themselves, there's really no limitations, or as he was saying, no budget for your creativity. And his thing was to go whole hog and just, give players like all the magic items, all spotty slots, the whole ring. And he was complaining that low magic sucks. See, I totally disagree because, to be honest, low magic could be really fun. And it's also how you present it and how it's ran. But it's also from the fact that you're able to do a lot more without having to worry about Deus Ex Machinas, I think. For example, if you're writing dark fantasy, it gives a bit more tension than it would be if you have, like, the wizard who has planar banishment or what have you. And I think that's really an important thing because low fantasy, dark fantasy, sword and sorcery, anything things like that give you a much deeper sense of like your character, I think. I guess that's why I'm trying to really enjoy some OSR stuff too, is the emphasis on character. Now, granted, I'm not saying that you can't really do character in high fantasy, but let's just take Forgotten Realms, where why would you do anything? Why would you adventure? Because you have Elminster and or whatever the hell his name is, and all the others just merrily going around. Yeah, you can sit there and say, oh, they're taking care of other problems. So what? They're high ranking or high level or whatever you want to call it, magic users. What's the point of it? And it gets to be like too uh, world defining, or maybe that's the word. Maybe it's more like two world consequences. And some things the world consequences could be okay, but especially in high fantasy. But sometimes no, which is why low fantasy is really great because you could have a local. You could have it pretty much be the adventurers who have never left their countryside, but there's enough in their countryside for them to go do, from a dungeon to a tower to whatever have you. And there's enough stuff there to where you could go from one to whatever, however how you want to go, and still have a very fun adventure. Um, I was just to say, I mean, I was watching Professor Dungeon Master's um, series on his the Revival Society, and that looks so much fun because it's like that's something cool. It's very down to earth. It's very like in your face in a way, and you could actually get to know everything. And it's not just swing a sword or use a power or just cast fireball, which is really good. Um, and again, I'm not saying that high fantasy or high magic isn't bad. Mercedes Lackey does it well. JRPGs do it very, very well. I think that if you want a good example of a good high fantasy, go JRPGs. Maybe I think Final Fantasy up to 6 is probably your best bet. I mean others too, but I mean for high fantasy definitely those. And that's brought a lot of tropes in too. Summonings, Magitech, gear, just stuff like that. It's the amazing thing about it. Other good high fantasy that also work is just, anime in general. Fairy Tale and others where it's like it just defines everything and it helps to like really set the mood of the place. Whereas low fantasy also defines it and makes a better mood in some cases. Like I said, I'm a fan of Ravenloft. I'm a fan of Gothic horror and stuff like that. So that's what I would aim for. And having a wizard who could do, summon monster doesn't really work in some cases. I don't have to think what to do there because I want to make some stuff for make some classes and things or what have you and see how that works. But anyways, that's just what I think. Um, Yeah, yes, you have a very broad palette to do whatever you want in any kind of setting, high or low, but don't do a Monty Hall like this guy was saying, giving the players everything, because what's your incentive after that? You could have oh look, a giant dragon with a steel jaw is threatening to destroy the world. Thrall's not around, so we might as well have something else to do. Yeah, this stuff like that's stuff like that's just not really cookie. We all get that. Not really important, you know. So yeah, I'm sliding more and more towards low fantasy, dark fantasy, stuff like that, and can't wait to make some other stuff. Hope you have yourself a wonderful day. Much love.